Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. For today's video, I am announcing something very exciting. It is probably already spoiled by the title or the thumbnail, but I am going to publish a book. I signed a contract and my book is getting traditionally published with, honestly, my dream publishing house. If you watched the Q&A that I did while customizing my Scrivener, one of the questions was, what are your dream publishing houses like in Sweden? And I named the big ones or one big one, but honestly my answer all this time have been Seraph or Seraph Förlag. But I didn't really want to say that as an answer because I was scared that if I talked about it out loud with you guys then I would jinx it or something and it wouldn't happen. Well, here I am announcing that I got a book deal with my dream publisher. And so if you're new to my channel, hi, hello, my name is Nea or Linnea, however you want to call me. And during the last few months I have gone to being a booktube channel to an authortube channel where I talk about my writing process and my publishing journey. That is a topic in this video as well. And also I am publishing in Sweden, I am publishing a Swedish book, and it looks a lot different from the typical publishing journeys in the United States. That's what I am most common with, but in Sweden it's a lot different. So for example, we don't have agents that we send our book to first before they are going to send it to publishers, but the authors themselves stand for themselves and have direct contact with the publishers. Then we sign a contract with the publishers and everything like that. You will get an understanding, I think, for how the journey goes for a typical writer or author here in Sweden. And I just need to say I am so damn thankful. Honestly, it has been quite a while since I signed the contract and I haven't been able to talk about it, but if you watched my latest Nano vlog or the summary of Nano, you will know that I was quite stressed in that video. I am also wearing the same outfit in that video. It's not the same day, but I have been kind of stressed because of this, because it is such big news. It is something that I dreamed of, that I wished would happen, but I never thought about it. It's mind-boggling. And so on November 22nd I got the email that would change my life forever. But I got the offer on November 22nd, not even a month after I sent it in. I sent it in on October 28th, and I had really thought that I would be getting November to focus on my project Full Moon, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this video as well, but I really thought that I was going to only focus on that, but then this happened and my mind was all over the place. But I just thought that we could go over how it all began. So the idea for my book that is going to be published, I call it Gods of Rot and Ruin. That is the direct translation from Swedish to English, and just for you guys to know what I'm talking about, I call it Gods of Rot and Ruin. I have a video series up on my channel. The first video where I outline the book, and then 3 vlogs after that of writing or drafting the book. And I also have an editing video. I can link all of those in the description, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it here and show some behind the scenes. Very little behind the scenes, I must just warn you guys, because I had an idea that I would vlog my entire experience, like every step of the way, but when I got the email at like late in the evening, or I read it late in the evening, I didn't want to film because I was freaking out so much. And I'm really sad that I don't have that to show you guys, but let me just say that it was existential crisis. I was panicking. I couldn't even understand what the email was saying, and I asked my dad to read it because I couldn't understand what it was saying. So during my first ever project that I finished, that was a YA fantasy from dual point of views, and I wrote that from November to December, somewhere around that time, to January, February in 2021. And during that time I got the idea for Gods of Rot and Ruin. I got the idea, it was cold outside, and I have told this story many times, but I saw a tree in deep winter, it was covered in snow, and I thought about the tree in Norse mythology and thought that I wanted to write a story surrounding that magic system. I got the idea then, and on March 7th I started drafting my book. So it hasn't even been a year since I started writing on this project. Like I said before, I have an outline with me video that I published in March this year, or March 2021. You can watch that and see where it all began. So I finished the draft, or the first draft, on May 28th, and then I panicked because I realized that my dream publisher, they sent out a request for manuscripts, dark fantasy romance manuscripts, and that was exactly what I have written. And I sent a pitch, and on June 4th they approved the pitch and they wanted to read the full manuscript. But by then I had not edited anything, so I waited a little bit until I began editing by myself. And that I call developmental editing or revisions. So the big plot points I switched around, the overarching structure of the book I changed quite a lot, and then I did some smaller changes. And then I edited from maybe not July, but somewhere around the summer months up until October 18, where I got back from the editor that I had sent my manuscript to, and she was looking at the big plot points, the story structure or the character arc. That was by October 18, and then I edited like a mad woman. I have a vlog up where I edit. It is a chaotic vlog. I will just warn you guys before you watch it. I edited for 10 days, and this is one of the mistakes that I made. Like, I got a book deal, so I'm really happy about that. Like, of course I am happy about that, but one of the mistakes I made was that I didn't take enough time after getting it back from the editor to actually edit the book. And I can see this from 2 points of views, you might say. On one hand, yes, I could have edited it more thoroughly or more carefully, and I would have been able to spot smaller things and smaller mistakes throughout the manuscript and been able to strengthen the manuscript a lot more before sending it out to a publisher. Like, I could have done more as the writer and author of this book, and I will come to that a little bit later as well. On the other hand, all this time that this was happening, from the beginning of the year where the publishing house went out with the manuscript that they wanted, and I had just gotten the idea, and then I drafted it in 3 months, and they still wanted that idea. I thought it as a sign. Every step of the way I thought as a kind of sign, or like a perfect alignment, I guess, of what they wanted and what I wanted to write. I don't know if you get what I mean, but so I got the idea. They wanted a similar idea. They wanted manuscripts like that. And then when I had written it, they still wanted that idea. So I took a wild chance and sent them a pitch, even though I haven't edited the book yet. I sent them a pitch, and I know now if I wouldn't have done that, this wouldn't be happening. So I sent them a pitch even though the manuscript wasn't edited. They liked the pitch, and then I sent it to them even though it needed more editing, and they wanted the manuscript. They wanted to sell it. So even though I took wild chances along the way, like even though I might have made mistakes in the choices that I made, it ended up bringing me here. So I don't know. I recommend not to rush getting a book to the publisher. I feel it's a bit different when you have sent a pitch to a publisher. Like here in Sweden, we send pitches, or we send whole manuscripts right at once to publishers, and they read the manuscript and they decide on what they want to do. And if you have a big publisher, or your dream publisher in this case, loving the pitch and wanting to read, I think you should go for it. Like, I don't think you should keep them waiting. Like, I didn't want that. I didn't want them to find a similar manuscript during the time that I was editing mine and then decide not to go with me. I was scared of not being picked. I was scared of being left out. So it really depends on your situation, but that is something that it was a wild ride, if I could say so myself. Yeah, I sent it on October 28th, and I got the answer on November 22nd. I think it was after dinner, sometime after dinner, and I had just watched an episode of a series that I can't remember what I watched, and it has been chaotic in my head since then. So I basically need to go in like 10 minutes, but I got offered a contract for my book, Gods of Rot and Ruin, yesterday evening. And basically this is just a quick chat about that. So okay. Essentially, they love the idea so much that they will offer me a contract, but I need to do a lot more work on the book before they can actually begin work on it. So it's a whole deal. But essentially, they want to publish this book, they want to work with me on it, and they see the potential, and they love the idea, and they love the story. The first couple of sentences where they said that they liked the idea, that they thought that a lot of people would love, that alone is enough for me to start shaking and being so happy, because as a writer, that's all you could ask for, like a stamp of approval for your creativity. Because if you have ideas, if you have the want to share your stories, that can take you a long way. And that took me a long way, because the writing stuff, the technical stuff of writing a book, that I can work on afterwards, but I need to have an idea to be able to work on that. So having ideas that people actually want to read, that is everything I could ask for. So I just wanted to have a little chat about that before I went into school. But yeah, that's it. I just want to say one thing. I have heard from my publisher now. My manuscript was a bit rough. When I got back from the publisher, they said that they loved the idea, that it was unique and that they know that the book has a market. There will be people that will love the book. But they also said that it isn't really at publishing standards. Like, a book isn't meant to be ready for publish at the time that you send it out to the publishers. They thought that especially the language and the sentence building and the word choices and everything like that, it was a bit rough. That is why my first rounds of edits with the publisher is not going to be like big revision editing. It is going to be about my language. Like, it sounds so stupid talking about this now, but I didn't know that I was supposed to focus on that before sending it out to publishers, because I have been hearing so much from other author-tubers and writers talking about the importance of story and the importance of characters. So that's why I focused so much in every edit that I made. I just wanted to get the characters and the story, like wanted to hook the reader with the story, and then I forgot about language, and I forgot that maybe I repeat myself too much and maybe I use the same kind of sentence structure. But as soon as I heard it, it's obvious, and I definitely understand why they would have said no, because it isn't up to their usual standard for buying a book or getting a book contracted. So that is definitely something that I will do differently in the future when I send my future books out to publishers. Like, I really feel stupid thinking about it. But at the same time, I have learned a lot. So with that said, the next book in the series, because this is going to be a series, it is a 3-part series and it will all connect in the end, but at the same time, all the 3 books are kind of standalones as well. That is the idea, at least. So they are hopefully, probably going to contract the second book as well. And with that book, I am definitely not going to send it to them as a first draft, not even a second draft or a third draft. Like, I am going to get it to beta readers, maybe get it to the editor, and I am definitely going to line edit before I send it to them, because I don't want them to be in a situation again where they are like, yeah, you still need to work on your writing. So that's it, really. That's the whole journey from the book idea to where I am right now. I just thought that I could just point out that the book is going to be published in 2023, because I will need 3 rounds of edits first, and then there's a lot of back and forth with everything. I'm really happy about being published in 2023 because they have a lot of other fantasy writers being published that year, so I will have some writer friends with me when I'm doing this publishing thing, I guess. So I'm really happy about that. And on that note, what's next? What now for me? And I'm just gonna talk about the series first. So since the book is being published in 2023, probably the spring of 2023. In 2022 then, I am going to have 2 priorities when it comes to writing. First, editing Gods of Wrath and Ruin, because I am contracted to edit the book and I have deadlines. Like, the first rounds of edits have a deadline in March, and then I will have deadlines throughout the year, and as soon as I get the edits back, I will need to hop on that editing train again. So that's the priority number 1. And the second priority is to write the sequel to Gods of Wrath and Ruin. It doesn't have a title. It isn't even a work in progress yet. But my plan is, when I get the edits done that round and the book is back with the publishers, it will take, I don't know, up to a month maybe, 1 to 3 months even, I don't know. So in between the edits of Gods of Wrath and Ruin, I'm going to focus on writing the sequel. I think that will begin in March, because that is the first time that I'm sending the book out to the publisher again after editing it. So yeah, that's the plan, that I am going to start working on the sequel, which is from a point of view of a character that we get to meet in Gods of Wrath and Ruin. I already know what characters are going to be in that book. I already know the big plot, I guess. I can just pitch it right now as a dark fantasy romance, because the first book in the series is also a dark fantasy romance, and it's also elven murder mystery, and that's really all I can say right now. And you will of course hear a lot more about this. I am going to do an outlining video, I am going to take you along on the process. So for next year, that will be the video schedule. The videos is mostly going to be about editing, and the videos is mostly going to be about drafting a new book. And right now, today, after I finish filming this, I am going to keep working on Project Full Moon, which is my nano project for 2021. And I am in the 3rd act, and I only have maybe up to 10,000 words more to write until I am finished with the book, and I just want to get that out of the way because I don't want to start writing on this again in March when I have forgotten all about it. I just want to finish it and then start working on editing. So I will leave Project Full Moon behind as soon as I finish it. It sounds really bad just leaving a project behind like that, but you know what I mean. I will come back to it in the future, but when I have time. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm publishing a book. It is going to be a weird ride, a wild ride, and I hope that you stick around to watch it and be there with me while I go on this journey. And I'm just letting you guys know first that I am going to do a book publishing Q&A in January. So if you have any questions for me that I haven't answered in this video, if you have any questions about Gods of Rot and Ruin, the writing process, or if you have any questions about the publishing process, any questions that you might have about the Swedish fantasy publishing industry or anything, leave them in the comments below and I will answer them in that Q&A video. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys for being here with me up until now, and you have been inspiring me so much to keep writing and keep doing this. I just want to thank you. So big heart to you guys, and leave a like if you liked the video, a comment below, and subscribe because I post a new video every week, every Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!